SWA fans, largest man in sports commentary today, Big Tiny coming to you from right here, South Jones High School, home of the Braves, where tonight, well, SWA returns for, what are we calling it?
Defend the Ville.
Defend the Ville. As you see sitting beside me, I've got defensive back coach and head soccer coach Luke Gleason here. And to his left, the one, the only, defensive coordinator for South Jones football here, Jason Souls, a.k.a. SWA General Manager, Monty Warbucks.
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Yes,
marvelous, Monty.
Just saying, if you're going to do it, you might do it right. You got to be marvelous.
Especially tomorrow night.
Especially hopefully tomorrow night because, when you do this 4 times a week for 25 years and then you stop for a little while and people are like, you're going to have ring rust? I said, I'm sure it's going to happen. But, when you grow up fighting, you don't forget how to fight. And so tonight is going to be an amazing event for me because I ain't got to punch anybody in the face in a while. So Cowboy Cliff stuck his nose in where it didn't belong. He's going to say stuff about Jones County. I'm not going to let that happen. I got great backup. Cannot wait to punch that cowboy right in the nose.
And in doing so, defend the Ville.
Defend the Ville, baby.
That's right, baby.
That's our job in real life.
Yes, sir.
Is defend the Ville. We do it every Friday night. Play the chop, Bullet Club defense, no fly zone with the defensive backs, the front 7 for us, flying around, hitting the quarterback. We're built defensively on aggression and speed and never taking a back seat to anybody and never stepping back from anybody. We're the most aggressive, physical, aggressive, mean, tough. We're the kind of defense that Michael Myers looks under his bed for us. And so that's how we play. And if you don't think that that's going to be that way tonight, here with Dalton Delk and Barry Wolf and us against Cowboy Cliff, the Rangers, and Captain Breadstick, oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. You don't know. You don't understand. The people out there in the internet, in TV land, do not understand how me and this man have been talking about waiting, plotting every second. The minutes, the hours, the seconds are slowly clicking down to our moment, to the epitaph of what's fixing to happen, to the climax of that event. And I'm just telling you, you got $10? I say it all the time.
Best way to spend it to come see the best butt whooping this side of the Mississippi.
Hey, if you don't have a car, get on a bus. Get your $10 and do what you must and be right here tonight because somebody's going to get hurt. And I promise you, it won't be a Bullet Club Ville guy. I can promise you that.
All righty. Well, as we can see, the marvelous one is already fired up, and we're gonna take a step back and talk about y'all's 8-man here just shortly.
Sorry.
Hey, you good, brother? Hey, man.
I got a little fired up. Like I said, I ain't punched somebody in the face in a long, long time, and I'm not a Cowboys fan, and I surely don't like Cliff. And as a general manager, I have to be impartial because that's my job, right?
That's right.
To do everything the right way. But when he ran his mouth about – well, we'll talk about it later. I'm just so full right now, I can't contain it, but we'll talk about it later. Sorry, Lucas. I apologize, man. I apologize.
You're good.
All righty. Well, we're going to talk about some of the other matches that's going to be going on here tonight, and we're going to get to the main event, which will be the 8-man elimination style. We'll discuss it here in just a few moments.
South Jones survival.
Well, that's right. That's right. Well, let's start, and this is not in the order we're going. I don't think so. I guess the boss man on the other end is going to decide that later here this evening. But let's talk about one half of the Hosey brothers, Noah, Big Nasty, going to be taking on Michael Parrish. SWA newcomer, been here a few times.
Yeah. Michael's a great competitor. He's been all over the state. He's traveled around. He broke in the battle zone many, many years ago. Pharaoh had trained him and has worked with him, and Joe Williamson and some other really, really good professional wrestlers. So, he's a tough dude. But look who he's wrestling, right? See, the great thing about being the general manager is when me and the matchmaker Calvin Rose sit down and we try to put these matches together, right? And so you got Noah. He's established, great tag team wrestler. He's had singles runs and done really well, right? Well, you got Michael Parrish on the other side. And so you got two guys both trying to climb at different angles to the same place, right? So at some point they got to meet.
That's right.
So if Michael Parrish is the guy that he says he is, he's got to prove it. Well, it's a pretty good place to start. because he's going against the SWA veteran that's had tag team gold, singles gold. He's an established superstar. So if Michael wants to be the guy that he says he wants to be, he's going to have an opportunity right here in front of a huge crowd tonight to prove it. So for him, it's really a put up or shut up moment.
Very much. Yeah.
And I think, for Noah, he's a member of arguably the greatest tag team in the history of the SWA, right? The varsity, the Hosey Bros, as a triumvirate of three or as a tag team, any of the combination together, right, is phenomenal, okay? But, I was a tag team champion with Calvin Rose all over the United States multiple times. But sometimes you need to step out of that to show everybody I can still do it on my own, right? So for him, it's can I still do it on my own versus a guy trying to make a name for himself. It's going to be a great event.
And we've been seeing a lot of that from the Hosey brothers since they lost the SWA tag titles here several months back. And they're really wanting to try to push something
I think
in singles contest.
Every athlete has to set goals for themselves, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, like with us with football, right, we look at season ahead of time. Like these are daily goals, right? And daily goals turn into weekly goals turn into season goals, and then year-ending goals, right? So things you can achieve as you go. I don't care who you are. Every person that laces up a pair of wrestling boots and puts on a pair of trunks wants to be the heavyweight champion. If you don't want to be the heavyweight champion, you need to go play pickleball, right? It's no different than us in football. If you don't want to be the state champion, if you don't want to be playing in the first weekend of December, you need to go do something else, right? Wrestling's the same, man. Like when I started wrestling, I loved being a tag team champion with arguably, I think he's the best guy to ever do it around here, but he's also my best friend. I always wanted to be a tag team champion with him. But I got into wrestling because I wanted to be the heavyweight champion. Well, the only way you can do that is to step out on your own and prove you can do it. So for all the varsity guys, Hunter included, Braden, Noah, all of them, you have to take those steps on your own and not lean on other people. Because as a unit, they're solid, they're tight, they're really good. We all know it. But can they do it on their own? Because if they can do it on their own, it makes them also stronger as a unit in the future. It's no different like with us when we do individual drills, right? They're learning how to do things on their own. Mm-hmm. But when you plug them all together as a group, it makes the group stronger. So for those guys, hey, there's two singles belts. You don't think they both want one? And then win the tag belts too, and then now you run everything at that point.
That's right.
And you make the money.
And then I'll say a little deeper on that too. Being a baby brother myself, sometimes baby brothers got to step out. They follow in that big brother's footsteps. And they're seeing what big bro's doing, and they go in tag together. And they win. They're very successful. But sometimes you just got to go see, like you said, the wrestling business, that's what you want. But sometimes as a little brother,
it's a life thing too.
Yeah, as a little brother, you want to go see, has Big Brother been carrying me, or can I really do this?
Sometimes you want to know, like, can I get the big piece of chicken?
That's right.
You know what I mean? It ain't always got to go to daddy or brother. I want that big pork chop.
That's right.
So
that's
I
right.
get it.
Well, talking about the Hosey brothers, stepped in Braden's match. Mm-hmm. Bulldog Braden Hosey going to be taking on someone they've been friends with for years. Former referee Mike Smith, as he corrected the other day. No longer referee Mikey. He is Mike Smith.
Well, you talking about that corrupt referee?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Done some dirty tactics.
Yeah,
So.
Okay. Let's call a spade a spade. All right. Lucas Frost. I've been in the wrestling business 27 years. Lucas has been at almost 20, maybe a little over 20. I mean, he's a traveled veteran, right? Like, he's one of those guys that was always undersized, but he won because he was smarter than you. And he would do absolutely anything to win, right? He's got those Frost boys, right, formerly the Daybreakers, and you can still call them that people know who they are. He's got those guys brainwashed. And he did the same thing to Mikey. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be bad for their careers because, I mean, Lucas knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Short of a neck injury, Lucas would have been the SWA heavyweight champion, right? I mean, Barry, when we say it, and everybody knows we're not best friends with Barry, and even though he's going to be tagging with us, Barry's the greatest SWA champion ever, right?
I mean, there's a reason we want him in our corner.
100%, right? But if Frosty doesn't have that neck injury and get put in a halo and have to have that surgery, he would have been SWA champion. There's no doubt in my mind.
A long-time junior heavyweight champion, if I'm not mistaken, one of the first.
I mean, and I'll be honest, when we had a group called The Experience, And it was me and Lucas and Barry, and we traveled a lot of places and did a lot of great things when I was working wrestling every night of the week, right? And there's a reason I wanted him with us, because he's a dog, right? So he's a good person in the ring for Mike to learn from, but I don't know if he's a good person and influence in him in life. Does that make sense? Because, yeah, you got to do some things in wrestling that's not always on the up and up to get by. It just is what it is. You're in the fight sport, right? But away from the ring, do you really want him influencing who you are? And with Lucas, man, I don't know. You know, and I struggle with it because I have good times with him in the ring as an opponent, as a partner, as a person whose opinion on things in the wrestling business I value, right? But I also know he's a psychopath.
Yeah, and since he's come back around in this managerial leader role, if you will, for them Frost Boys, the Daybreakers, and now I guess you add Mikey.
I think
Mike to that equation. We're seeing a careful not to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and I think with Mike, he's more of like a lackey, for lack of a better term. I mean,
acolyte.
Yeah, I don't think, to me, I don't think that Doc and Nate look at him like he's on their level, because he's really not. He's not. He's just he's not yet. He hasn't proven anything. Nate and Doc won the tag titles multiple times, have been singles champions. They've done really great stuff in this business. And then you've got a guy who is a psychological genius when it comes to wrestling. So it's smart in a way for him to link up to Doc, Nate, and Lucas. I get it. But at the same time, man, you got to live there. You got to live that. And I don't know that the happy-go-lucky person that Mikey was is going to like who Mike has to be with those guys.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see, and he's got a fight ahead of him because
he's got his hands full.
Bulldog is just that. He is a bulldog in that ring, and you better come ready when you come ready to fight him.
You know, he's we got a football player named Tavares Hutchins, right? And Hutch is an undersized guy who works really hard, and he overcomes the lack of size by just effort, sheer effort. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he reminds me of Bulldog because Braden's not big. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's not the fastest. He just won't let you beat him. And sometimes the dude that shows up every day and does the right things every single day and just keeps going wins the race, right? So for a first match, that wouldn't be the one I'd want to draw. You know what I mean? But, hey, it's the fight business, right? Again, same thing with Michael Parrish. You want to make a name for yourself, you step on the toes of one of the biggest dogs in the yard and see what happens, right? So
it's the SWA where the big boys play.
Well, there's everybody, look, every professional wrestler in the state of Mississippi wants to come here. There's a reason. You can go work other places. There's 70 people there to watch you. If you want to come where the best wrestlers are, where the biggest crowds are, where the best paydays are, you want to be here. He could have went somewhere else, wrestled somebody, and probably beat him. But he's going to come here and find out where he stacks in the level of manhood, right?
That's right.
So we're going to see. I mean, and look, he's military. He's a tough dude. I mean, Braden's got his hands full, too. It's not like it's going to be an easy fight either way. But one's got a lot of experience. The other one doesn't. I mean, so, you know, when all things are even, and I don't think they're even. I think Mikey's got an uphill battle. Experience matters, right? And Braden has a lot more. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be definitely worth the price of admission to see where Lucas can guide Mike to.
Oh, yeah, very much. Well, keeping on with Lucas there and the Frost Boys, they're going to be in non-title action against a team that we've seen fight each other several times over the last several months, but going to be interesting to see them together now in Sammy and Leo Riot.
Right. Well, I mean, most of the time, and I'll be honest with you, talking about a wrestling savant, and that's what Frosty is. He's also pretty good in legalities. So they haven't won a match as a tag team in a certain time period by SWA bylaws. They don't have to give them a title match. And that's fine. All right, we'll go non-title. But here's the thing. If they beat you, they're the number one contenders, dude. They just pinned you. So, hey, you're the SWA tag champions. You're a big big crowd draw. People hate you. People love you one way or the other, right? But they care about you. So we want you here. You need to be here. You don't want to have a title match? That's fine. Leo Riot, little undersized, right? Great athlete. Sammy, superior athlete. Both of those guys are guys one day that I think you're going to see climb the ladder of professional wrestling to be really, really good. Sammy reminds me a lot of Fuego del Sol, KJ Orso. When KJ broke into the wrestling business, his first 4 or 5 matches were with me. And I beat his tail all over Mobile, right? All over Alabama. Tagging with him later against the Armstrongs and stuff like that. And you see KJ right now, he's the top independent wrestler in the world, man. He is. I mean, you look at what he's doing in combat, all these different places all over the country and the world. He's the top independent. Him and Matt Cardona are the top 2 guys, right? And he's earned every single part of it. Ray Fury is another one, right? Ray Fury, great luchador. How many matches have I had with Ray Fury all over the country? Tons. Sammy's that kind of caliber wrestler. And he's right there on the doorstep of being that. And Leo ain't far behind him. They're both super talented, aggressive, high flyers. But they do pretty moves. But unlike a lot of these high flyers, they do pretty moves to try to win a match.
Oh, yeah.
They're not out there to just pop a crowd. Ooh, he can do a flip. Yay. They're doing it to hurt you. And that's the difference between them and other guys. They're super athletic, but they're super athletic to win. Now, the flip side is the Daybreakers, they're sneaky athletic. We all know what they can do, but they are maniacal. They're mean. They're calculated. And they have probably the first or second most smartest guy outside of me and Calvin in wrestling with Frost. I mean, I put Barry at that level, right? There's guys that you look at and go, they're on top, and they're the best for a reason. Lucas is one of those guys, and he's guiding them. So, you know, it's one of those matches where you go, who's going to win? I have no idea. I mean, I know, and the style and pace of the match will go a long way, and let me explain what I mean by that. If it's a lot of high-impact, fast action, obviously the Riots have a huge advantage because they are high-octane athletes, right? But the longer the match goes, the advantage then switches to the Daybreakers with their methodical pace, right, and their tag team acumen. So, depends. If the Riots come out and boom, get a pin real fast, you know, but it gets to the 10, 15, 20-minute mark and you drag them into deep water, we'll see.
As much as I hate to say it, Lucas will probably have them ready for that too.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's the game plan
yeah,
for them
yeah,
right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Probably isolate Leo, you know, and slowly, methodically quarter him, right? And slowly tear his body apart. Because the Andersons
inflict as much pain as
correct,
possible.
man. Because, and here's the other thing, too. A 3-legged table can't stand, right? So if we can eliminate parts of that. And they're also, I guarantee you, Lucas is looking at, these guys are the future up-and-coming challengers down the road for these belts, right? So if we can damage one of them now, I don't have to worry about them later. I mean, think about all the things they did to the varsity guys, all 3. And that's the Hosey brothers, but y'all know who I'm talking about. If I can injure this one, well, I don't have to worry about them, right? When I was the heavyweight champion, if I knew, me and Calvin were tag team champions, and we knew there's 2 guys over there or 1 guy over there that in 6 months I'm going to have to deal with, I'm going to clip him now. I don't have to worry about him, right? And I know people say, well, that's not nice. That's the wrestling business. This just is what it is. So it's going to be a really interesting match because you got 2 conflicting styles with 4 great competitors.
Anything to add, Lucas? Yeah.
No,
Well,
and what he said is exactly right though about Lucas training them to get them in the right headspace. I mean, to put it as in football, like when we sit down with our guys and we watch film, we know what's coming. You don't think Lucas is sitting there right now pulling up? We call it huddle, but pulling up the film and like they're this, they're that. We can counteract this. We can do that.
Yeah, and similar to like some defensive strategies we'll use. It's like if they've got a really fast receiver on the other side of the ball, we're not going to sit there and try to play press all night on him and let that guy just run right past us. Or if he's really tall, we're just going to win jump balls on us, right? We're going to play different things, and it's very similar in this situation. I think
100%.
you're talking about high octane, fast guys on the other side of the ring from you, and just those Frost boys. I just feel like that is what Lucas is sitting down
100%.
watching film, and honestly, these guys are champions, right? So how did they become champions? feel like Lucas is part of that, right?
100%. He's the main reason.
A huge part.
So he's
huge
the one, in my opinion, that took these Daybreakers and pushed them to where they were. They were always a really good tag team, but like when Lucas was added to the equation, I just felt like that was what they needed.
Next level.
And because that guy is the guy sitting back studying film, watching these guys that they're going to face, and as you said, they're gonna isolate one, take him down, and then now it's 2-on-1 pretty much the rest of it.
And maybe for the future.
Yeah.
Going to be a great match to see. Great tag team action there. Moving right along. Deep South Gold on the line. Champion Hunter Rhodes, Big Rascal, and his first ever Deep South title defense. And
he's jumping in the deep end of the pool.
He's got the mountain of a man and 6'8", 350-pound Samson Richards,
Who's
the
insane.
Ginger Assassin.
I gave him that name, by the way.
The Ginger Assassin?
Yeah.
I like to call him the Sultan of Saltiness because he sure is salty.
I can't remember who he's wrestling, and I'm watching him, and I'm going, this guy's unhinged. Like, he's not – his frame of mind is not normal, right? And I think he's wrestling Joe Kane, and he's choking him with a bull rope, and I'm like, that guy's a Ginger Assassin. He's killing that guy, and I said it on TV, and it stuck, right? The thing about when you're wrestling a guy like him – and we were talking about like watching film, right? Yeah. So like we break down the offense and we know kind of what they're going to do, and they're in this formation, they do that, whatever. But when you're wrestling somebody who's like him, who's insane, you don't know what he's going to do.
Very unpredictable.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for something you can't prepare for, right? Now Hunter's, I mean, he's been in the deep waters before. He's been the heavyweight champion. He's been a tag champion. Now he's the Deep South champion. He's won every title you can win here, and I'm not downplaying him because I mean I think he's excellent, right? But very seldom do you go into a match going, the champion might be the underdog. And that's not knocking Hunter. I mean, he's phenomenal, dude. He's great. But Samson's 6'8". He's 300-something pounds. He's unhinged. He's crazy. And he's got Reggie Blackledge with him. He's also hanging around Nick Wonder, who's another one of those really smart guys. He's got Hicks telling him things. He's a different kind of cat. Yeah, I mean, normally when you win a belt, you want your first title defense to kind of be one of them kind of cupcake, Yeah. If you put it in football terminology, you want to play, Arkansas State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's jumping in the deep end of the pool, which it was an open challenge. He didn't have to take it. So I give Hunter credit because he feels like, I'm sure, because I've been around him, is that if I'm going to be the champion, I want everybody to know I'm the champion because I'm the best. And the only way to do that is to beat great people.
Uh-huh.
So it's a credit to him. But at the same time, Lord have mercy, man. Really?
He's going to be worried about a numbers game, possibly.
Yeah.
He's going to be worried about, this guy, like you said, unpredictable.
Unhinged.
Unhinged, is willing to do really anything to win that belt. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing that Hunter's going to be faced with tonight is the just unsure step-by-step process of how this is going to work for him to win. It's like we just talked about these Daybreakers having a game plan. There's nothing you can plan for here. You have to. How do you plan for everything?
And how do you hurt him?
Right.
I mean, he's
it's a tank.
How do you hurt him? And is the game plan? And here's the other thing. You want to talk about strategy. I mean, Hunter's a big dude too, right?
Oh yeah, very much.
So
almost. He says 270, 260, 270. I'm
170. I say that.
Hey, you've lost some weight.
I've lost a small child. I've lost 75 pounds.
You got a haircut.
Yeah, that's right.
But at the end of the day, the reason I say, I mean, like with the Daybreakers, the strategy is to get into deep water, right?
Yes.
Well, both these guys are quick hit artists. They don't want to be in a 20-minute match. Not that, I mean, Hunter's been in them. He went 20 minutes with Barry Wolf and won the belt. But what I mean by that is that they're guys that want to get in, get their business done, and get out. Well, which one of those two guys cardiovascularly is better? Because it's going to matter, right? Because you get, and I know this is not a long match necessarily, but for two guys that are over 300, you get to 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
You think about a monster truck rally; those
right.
things don't last.
They don't last long.
So they're quick hitting over with.
Which one of those guys' oxygen, right, is going to hold up, and the jet fuel is still in the tank? Because if Samson was wrestling one of the riots, he's going to want that fast, man. Like he can't. He can't keep up. But two big guys, one of those guys cardiovascularly is going to have to hold up.
And I think Hunter wants it to go fast because if we're being honest,
Yeah.
the quicker it goes for him, the quicker he can finish this.
Yeah.
The less he's got to worry about
Well,
anything
even-
offhand happening.
Even if you win, but you get winged, you get clipped, right?
Yeah.
Because you get hurt. Well, that means the next guy.
Well,
Already got a hand up.
Hunter
He's got-
still
yeah.
has that wrist lingering with him.
Yeah.
Surgically repaired knee.
Yep.
He's got all these issues.
He's put together by duct tape and piano
Oh,
wire,
and-
like most guys are at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point.
And don't think Samson doesn't know all that either.
Correct.
I mean,
He knows.
Once
he's
again,
gonna-
he's
he's
got
gonna
that
try to isolate that.
legal attorney outside. You know, hey,
absolutely.
keep
and
an eye on
Hicks,
this, keep an
as
eye on
much
that.
as I can't stand Brian Hicks, he's not a dummy.
Oh no.
So
Well,
You know.
if you sit by him every night like I do, some of the things he says
well,
makes you
obviously,
question it.
yeah, but I'm talking
So-
about strategy of what he wants. Nobody gets to the position in life that he's in. Nobody gets in the position in life that Reggie's in. Nobody gets to the point in the wrestling business where Nick is. And nobody becomes the SWA heavyweight champion like Samson was without being really, really intelligent, right? So you put all those minds together. There's a reason why the Rebellion, even when they don't come out on top, find a way to get back on top sometimes, right? So, I mean, how many main events have they been in the last 2 years?
It seems like all of them.
All of them, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's a
Find a
reason.
way.
There's a reason they find a way to stay relevant, right? So, it's kind of like I hate to compare them to like Alabama football because I can't stand them. Go Tigers! But even when they lose, they find a way to stay relevant. People still talk about them, right? That's
Yes,
the
sir.
Rebellion, man. And Sam is a big part of that. So the biggest part of it, figuratively and literally. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's one of those matches that it's the how did Gorilla Monsoon you said the irresistible force against the immovable
Immovable
object.
object.
That's
Absolutely.
that's what it is, man. It's Hogan Andre. It's two
Well-
guys that just bang against something. Something's got to break.
Yeah.
Something's going to break.
To add to everything else there, just looking through some statistics and everything, I try to do my homework as much as I possibly can. Hunter has never successfully defended an SWA title ever
Yeah.
in the SWA.
Well, the first time he was SWA champion, he goes out. He was going to. I want to say it was Barry Wolf, and it was a rematch, a 30-day contract rematch. We were in Waynesboro, and Antonio Bronson, the pit bull, came and injured him.
Yes, sir.
And to his credit, he said, "No, because I was going to give him an out. I was going to give him an out. He wouldn't take it. Not a very smart thing to do, but he's a competitor, and it was his first night out, and he felt like he owed it to his fans and the company to do that. Okay, this situation is a little bit different because he's not 100%. Nobody's 100%. Like if you're wrestling, you're not 100%. It's like it's like week 8 in football.
Yes, sir.
If you get out of bed and feel good in the morning, you ain't been on the field.
Yes, sir.
We're midway through the season.
Yeah, you don't.
The season right now.
Yeah, you don't feel good.
If you're not hurting, you're not doing anything.
Correct.
So,
So both those guys are clipped, but I will say this for Hunter. Hunter has always somehow found a way, right?
Always persevered.
He's always found a way. So much like Braden, much like Noah, they always find a way somehow to get it done. So I'm not doubting him. I just know what he has in front of him is a really steep climb.
Yeah.
I think he can do it. He's done it before, but it's going to be one of those matches where the first person that makes the first big mistake is probably going to lose because the other person's so big and so strong, they take advantage of it. There's no coming back.
No, it's going to be hard to fight from under there.
Yeah.
But if anybody can do it, Hunter has
Yeah,
done it
he
before.
can. He
Can,
can. I mean,
And,
it's not that he can. It's just for his sake, if he wants to maintain the title, I hope he doesn't have to.
He's got to. Yeah, exactly. Well, we've talked about everybody else on the card. Let's get you fired up again.
Buddy.
Let's put Jason Souls to bed. Let's pull out the marvelous one, Monty Warbucks, as you
Oh.
said the other day.
I don't know if the internet's
many,
ready for that.
No.
Many
Thank God
times-
YouTube didn't exist in 2007.
many times here when we've come to South Jones, you've entered that ring as Coach Jason Souls.
Yep.
To defend the Ville then, but Cowboy has clearly knocked something loose with you, and put you back, like you said, in 07, 09, those days where the marvelous one has come out to play.
Here's the thing, man. I have worked a lot of places. I've coached places, right? But here's the deal, man. This group of kids I coached this year, our defense, Bullet Club guys, they're special kids to me, man. Every one of them. People talking about wrestling or whatever. Those kids are special to me. They broke their bodies every single Friday. We got kids that put off surgery We got kids that were doing things to keep their body together so they could be a part of what we have.
And one played a full game with 2 teeth knocked out.
Yeah, 2 teeth knocked out of his head.
Oh wow!
Had glue holding him
Yeah,
back in
had to go get him put in the next
Couldn't
day.
take the mouthpiece out for a weekend.
For a weekend. Had to keep it in, right? He also had 6 tackles and 3 sacks that night. Shout out to Ezra Elzy. We love you.
Axe murder.
Axe Murder, yep. And Braden Armstrong and Q and our DBs and Captain America and Reese. All they know I love them all. So when he got out there and said what he said about those kids, ain't gonna happen, dude. Ain't gonna happen. Now, look, everybody talks about Monty Warbucks and who I am. I did a lot of things in my life in the professional wrestling business that I'm not proud of. You understand? But those are the people that bought tickets around here for 25 years, all over Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Georgia, all up and down the East Coast, know who I am. When AWF had their Legends Rumble, they called me to be in it. I don't consider myself a legend, but everybody in that locker room, including KJ Orso and all Christian Blake, all those guys that are big names, they know who I am because they bought tickets to watch me, and they patterned themselves, a lot of them, after me. Dalton Delk will tell you, first wrestling show he ever went to, I was in the main event. I wrestled Calvin Rose, actually, which is odd.
I was actually at that show, and I remember it also.
And it was great, and we beat the crap out of each other. But here's the thing. Cowboy Cliff, Black Rangers, I don't even know why you wanted to get involved. Nick Wonder, whatever. You made a mistake because you ran your mouth about people I love and I care about. And you were stupid enough to think that I don't have friends, that I don't know people. So I got on the phone, and I called Dalton Delk, the baddest dude in Jones County, the fireman. Everybody knows who he is, former SWA champion. That dude has fought all over this county against multiple people. Ask him. Ask anybody. And then I had to call somebody I can trust, which is this guy right here. I can trust him. He's had my back every single day since the day I got here, and I have his on and off the field. He knows that I know it, right? Every single day. Now, Barry, like I said on the radio, it's kind of like diplomacy, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, okay? In World War II, the United States and Russia, communist, capitalist, hate each other. But you know who they hated worse? The Germans.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the Germans were doing things that shouldn't happen. So those two superpowers got together, even though they don't like each other, to rid the world of a menace. That's what we're doing. And I'm not comparing this to that. This is just a wrestling match where 4 guys are going to beat the living crap out of 4 other guys. But I can tell you this, and I hope you understand what I'm telling you, Cowboy Cliff, and I hope you understand what I'm telling you, Black Rangers. And Nick, I ain't worried about you. You'll be eating breadsticks. I hope you understand what you're getting in the ring with. You're not getting in the ring with just some old man who just sat on the sidelines and stopped because he had to. I stopped because I wanted to. And when I stopped, I was still in the main event. You went to Jackson in the Hideaway. You know who was in the main event against Ray Fury? You know who was in those main events against Odison? You know who was in those main events for all those guys you see on TV right now? Me. And ain't nothing changed. Yeah, I'm older. My beard's grayer. And I may be a step slower, and that's okay. Because even a little bit slower and a little bit older and my beard a little bit grayer, I'm still badder than you. And understand something. For 27 years, I was not the most loved guy around here. I was the most hated guy around here because I'll do anything to win. So if you don't think I'll poke your eye out, that I won't bite your nose off, that I won't choke you till there's no air left in your body, you're wrong, Cowboy Cliff. You're wrong, Black Rangers. And, Nick, I ain't worried about you. You're great. You're phenomenal. I'm going to let him take care of you. I'm going to let Barry take care of you because you're the number 1 contender. Barry can handle him all he wants. But I can tell you right now, Cowboy Cliff and Rangers, you put your hands on me. You got Lucas off the couch and involved. And you got Dalton Delk here. And I can promise you this. When it happens, and the hours, the minutes, and the seconds evade down to our moment, you won't be man enough to take care of what you got to take care of. That's all I got to say.
Coach?
Man, pretty much said it right there. I said Nick Wonder, dude. You know,
he's great. I ain't knocking him.
If you've looked at anything on Facebook, you know, Nick's tried to come in there and say I don't deserve to be in the same building as him. Here's the thing, Nick. You wrestle. I fight. So when you get punched in the mouth tonight, don't go crying to your lawyer. Don't go backstage to wherever you're going to go.
Don't go back to your next shift at Olive Garden.
Don't go back to your next job to serve breadsticks pouting, brother. Because at the end of the day, tonight is going to be a war. Tonight is going to be a war. And I'm excited. I'm excited because whenever Coach Souls called me, because that's my friend, and he let me know that Cowboy Cliff, you put your hands on him. Rangers, you put your hands on him. And you got this numbers game on him. And then Cowboy Cliff, you want to talk about our boys?
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
You want to talk about our guys? That's what you're going to do. It was enough for me. It was enough for me. We grabbed our stuff, and me and Dalton and Monty, we went into that ring, and what did they do?
They ran.
They ran.
They ran, Coach.
They ran.
They ran.
But guess what? Tonight, there's no running. You're not going to have a chance to do that. Tonight, you got to face us head on, and I promise
Tick-tock.
you.
Tick-tock.
Promise you. As they say, clock
Tick-tock.
it. Right?
Clock it.
Clock it.
Tick-tock.
You better
The moments.
believe it's happening tonight.
Tick-tock. The seconds. Tick-tock, boys. You can't run. You can't hide because your moment is upon us.
Oh, man. 8-man elimination style, Survivor Series style elimination 8-man tag contest. And y'all boys got me fired up over here. Just to add to that, Dalton dealt. Me and Dalton go back way back in the elementary days playing ball together. Played against each other in high school. Been buddies all through everything. And best believe there's been some parties way back in the day that I've seen Dalton throw hands. So
And look, we know
they in for a fight.
And look, we know Dalton and Barry aren't friends.
No.
We get that. You know, we understand that. We know that
But
Barry
Barry's a pit
and
bull.
Monty aren't friends, and that me and him aren't friends.
But he's
But at
a
the
pit
end
bull.
of the day,
He's a pit bull.
that's the guy. That's the guy we're gonna have beside us, whooping your tail, Nick. Okay, so just be ready for that.
Tick-tock, boys. The clock's running. Show up because we're going to be there.
Right here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, South Jones High School in the new multipurpose building. You want to be here. Monty, how do you say it? Can you calm down a little bit to say it there?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can.
Catch
I tell you
your
what,
breath.
I can sell anything if you
Yeah.
want to sell ice to Eskimos. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages of Jones County, do what you can, do what you must. If you ain't got a car, you better jump on a bus and get here to Ellisville, Mississippi, because Lucas Gleason, Dalton Delk, Barry Wolf, and Coach O's ain't never want to whoop a man so bad as we want to whoop a man tonight. Get here early, get here loud, be proud, play the chop, and defend the Ville.